can have only 50% people, masks are mandatory. So like that, they're starting off in a very methodical manner. So that is the third area. As I said, was involved in convincing people to bring down Sri Lankans from abroad. I was looking after family. I was looking after this. In addition to that, I was also serving clients. Thankfully, one of my big clients in Sri Lanka, Dialog Telecom, is continuing to do their work online. So on MS Teams, we are having workshops, and because of that, we are able to keep ourselves occupied. That's the fourth thing. And the fifth thing I started doing is to contribute something. I started doing free online learning material. So every 3 days, there's an online learning video going on. Last week, we had Kamrul Bai and Ineka Hoffman's video, Ineka Hoffman's video on the jump movement. Today, I had a video on interaction personalities. So I'm putting on these videos every 3 days. The next day, I'm putting on a poem. As most of you know, I like to recite poems, and the CKH network team has recorded many of my poems, and I'm putting those out one by one. I mean, we have an amazing studio and a team who does all the video and editing work. So I'm feeling so blessed that we invested in a team, in the equipment, which we can now use. Maybe it's the Almighty made us do it so that we can be of service. And on the other day, I'm putting a quote out. So there's 5 things I'm broadly doing. And the point I'm trying to say here is, rather than my waiting here and worrying and getting angry and sad and saying, oh my God, this is terrible. Why didn't I go early? Why did I come to Bangladesh? Without doing all that, I'm putting my focus into where I can be purposefully useful. And as a result, I was just telling Kamrul Bhai a bit early, my time is so stretched. I'm more busier than ever before. I'm in some Zoom call with some group or doing something. My sleep times are also not too good, which is not a good example, because we always say sleep early, wake early, not happening currently. And I have to be honest and authentic about what's happening. But I'm focused, I'm happy, and I know I'm of service to this world. So this is my story, just to let you know how I'm dealing with the present and preparing for the future. Over to Kamruba. I think your mic is...
Thank you so much, Ranjan, for sharing your story. Now we want to invite everybody together, whoever wants to share what is going on inside you and how you are facing it, how you're dealing it with. The reason I'm asking all of you is because of the program name, the dealing with the present and how we can prepare ourselves. So why I'm asking you also, whatever issues that you're facing right at this moment, it could be, maybe a 1 word or 2 word, what is that one, what is the one thing that is mostly giving you concern? So if you can speak it together, maybe we can try to put our ways of giving the idea so that we can solve everyone's issues or everyone's concern rather. So who wants to come forward first, or who wants to share first? Like, this is the things I'm facing. This is the a lot of other programs that we did earlier weeks. People said we're concerned about safety, security, job, health, the future. These are the in general concerns we had. So what about yours? And based on that, we can try to address our thoughts and ideas to help you and to overcome all of those. So who wants to come up and share the concern? It's open floor, right? And in the meantime, also let me share with you, this is us only going live to our YouTube channel, CKH Network, and because the Facebook Live didn't happen, so it's live on YouTube, and I have shared the YouTube link to our page as well. Ovi, can you share the YouTube link on this chat as well, so that they can share it as well? So let's come up. Who wants to share first? Over the last 4 weeks, we got so many concerns, and then based on that, we try to address those. So let us come up with the concerns. Who wants to share first? We are waiting for your response. because this is the session basically to deal the, jointly together. And with Ranjan's, if anyone wants to comment as well, please go ahead and comment on Ranjan's, ongoing dealing with the crisis present, who is
And
coming
also
on.
feel free to speak in Bangla. I do
Right.
understand a little bit. I can follow. I'll of course respond in English. So please feel free. Yeah.
Right. আমরা সবাই বাংলাতে কথা বলতে পারি, কোনো সমস্যা নেই। So, okay. আমরা যারা এখন শুনছি, কে আসতে চাই আমাদের ভিতরে? অথবা কেউ যদি চান শেয়ার করতে টেক্সটে, চ্যাট বক্সে যে this is my concern. So সেটা হলেও হবে। But at the same time, if you want to come and speak, most welcome as well.
Yeah, so there's one comment come by from Harunur Rashid, who says, I lost concentration in the short term. It hampers my productivity.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
That's one. Good one. So can we do one thing? Okay, Ranjan, you can speak on that, and then others can also opine theirs. Right.
Okay, so there is also how to control negative thoughts by Mr. Shakawat Ador here. So what I'll do is I'll take the second one, the negative thoughts, and then I think connect that with the productivity thing, and Kamrubai can add to it. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I'll use some of the tools from NLP, but quickly explanation. NLP, neuro means your brain and nervous system. Linguistics is language. Programming is like programming a computer. So neuro-linguistic programming is the language we use to program our brain like programming a computer. So a lot of our work has NLP tools and concepts in it. So I'm going to explain to you how to control your negative thoughts using NLP. So of course you can read up more about NLP in our websites, and there's so much in the internet, but let me explain how to control negative thoughts. So the negative thought controlling for NLP is, first is reframing the thought. NLP has a term called reframing. So when the thought comes in, you change that thought. For example, if you say, why am I affected by the pandemic? You can ask yourself, how do I respond to the pandemic? So like that, you change, instead of why, change it to a how. Why am I so unproductive? Was the question here. So when you feel you're unproductive, just ask yourself, how can I be more productive? So an example I normally give in my sessions is, if I ask myself, why am I so unsuccessful? I will have all negative thoughts coming. Oh, that's because I'm born in a third world country. That's because my education was poor. That's because the roads were full of traffic. That's because the politicians were corrupt. That's because my father didn't love me, loved my sister better than me. But I didn't have a sister. But if I had a sister, he would have loved my sister better than me. So I get all kinds of excuses, reasons why, which happened in the past. Now, past has happened and gone. You can't change it. So if I say, how can I be more successful? Instead of saying, why am I not successful? Then I will have better answers coming. Okay, start reading a book, do some meditation, do some prayer, have a nice conversation. There's something which can be done. So my answer to you, for both of you, is to, when the thought comes, reframe it, change it to a positive question, and allow the brain to bring out positive answers. Then you start feeling positive, and you will also get ideas on what to do to become more productive. That's a simple idea for you. I'm sure Kamrut Bhai can add to that as well.
So yeah, thank you, Ranjan, for sharing the NLP tools. So what I want to do, I want to ask question to Mr. Harun Rashid. So when you lost the concentration, what comes to your mind? Because that needs to know. Or are you engaging yourself to some of the other tasks? It could be both. I'll wait for your answer. But assume if I try to address both the issues when it comes to thought, different thought inside your mind when you are trying to do some of the other things. So what can you do to address those thoughts? So maybe there is a others idea. Okay, others idea. Absolutely, that's the thought. So that is the thought, and I wanted, I have started to address exactly. Thank you for responding. So why the other thought comes to your mind is actually those are some of the I think some of the burning issues that also you are going through, you're dealing with. So that's your current reality as well. So uh, in generally what you could do, you could write down what are the other thoughts that is instantly coming to you. So what will happen when you address those concern, when you write down, then actually your mind get released, your mind get free, your brain got free out of those concern. Yeah. uh, okay, so okay, connections getting dropped. Can you hear me?
I can hear. I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay, so thank you. So what I'm trying to say is, if there isn't a burning concern, then the mind, then the thought would come automatically all the time. But when you write down, then the mind gets at least assurance. Yes, you have written it down. So, and there is another connection with this. So that is, if we consider this as a pain, because we are losing your productivity, right? Because of the irregular thoughts or because of the disturbing thoughts, whatever we call it, and this thought actually causing you pain. So then what I say is, the pain delivers a message, and আমরা যখন সেই মেসেজটাকে ইগনোর করি, then we get to go as suffering. So এই ক্ষেত্রে আপনার সাফারিং হলো you're losing the productivity, and that's a suffering. এবং সেক্ষেত্রে আমি যেটা বলি, স্পেশালি দ্য সাফারিং ইজ এ চয়েস। আমি কেন বলছি সাফারিং একটা চয়েস? বিকজ আমি নিজে থেকেই আমার পেইনটাকে অ্যাড্রেস করছি না। দ্য পেইন ইজ গোয়িং থ্রু ইন মাই মাইন্ড ইন টার্মস অফ থট। যে থটটা আমাকে কি বলার চেষ্টা করছে, কোন মেসেজ সেটা আমাকে দেবার চেষ্টা করছে, যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত আমি সেটাকে ইগনোর করব, তার মানে আমি একটা পেইনের দিকে চলে যাচ্ছি। and in your case your pain is you're losing the productivity. So then you cannot ignore that repeating thought. So what you could do, you can write down your thought. Unless you write down, this thought will come and it will continue to disturb, it will continue to disturb, and then you continue to go to lose productivity. So it is very simple then. Some of the thoughts which is coming out, also it happens when you wake up, you might have the same ideas. So that means the nature, the intention, and the universe actually trying to convey you some sort of message. আমাদেরকে সবসময় নেচার হোক, আমাদের মাইন্ডসেট হোক, অথবা কোনো আইডিয়াস হোক, which comes to our mind, এবং it comes through a certain source, and the source is the আমি যেটাকে বলি the sponsoring thought. আর স্পন্সরিং থটটা তৈরি হয় বেসিক্যালি যে আমাদের লাইফের ওভারঅল অবজেক্টিভ যে ডিরেকশনে যাচ্ছে, যেটাকে আমি বলি where your life's direction is heading. সো ওই ডিরেকশন থেকে আমাদের ভিতরে অটোমেটিক কিছু কনসার্ন চলে আসে। আমরা অনেক সময় সেই সিগন্যালগুলোকে ক্যাচ করতে পারি না, আমরা ইগনোর করি। আর যখনই আমরা ইগনোর করি তখন আমাদের মানসিক প্রতিক্রিয়া হয়, এবং এই মেন্টাল প্রতিক্রিয়াটা ট্রান্সলেটস টুয়ার্ডস আ ফিজিক্যাল প্রবলেম। বিকজ এই মানসিক প্রবলেমগুলা, মানসিক স্ট্রেসগুলা, it transfers to our mind, brain, head, shoulder, body, and in different parts. তখন যেটা হয়, আমাদের শরীরে বিভিন্ন পেইন তৈরি হয়, দ্যাট অল অফ ইউ নো। আমাদের ক্রনিক ডিজিজে তৈরি হয়, আমাদের হেডেক তৈরি হয়, আমাদের স্টমাক পেন হতে পারে, শোল্ডার পেন হতে পারে, লট অফ থিংস। সো বাট what I am trying to emphasize is the root cause of the problem is the ignoring the signal which comes from the source of the creator. So এটা খুব সিম্পল ওয়ে হলো টু অ্যাড্রেস দোস। আপনি যখন সেটাকে অ্যাড্রেস করার চেষ্টা করবেন, to deal with, that's what dealing with the present, right? This is the crisis, something is coming towards your mind, then probably it will be tranquilized, right? It would be একটু শান্ত হবে যে না, you are trying to give attention, and then you need to critical think about. Hope it answers some of the questions. This is thought part. Another part is the distraction comes from the outer world that we all know, the multitasking, the social media, and also some of the other things. Since that's not your concern, I'm not going to talk about it. Hope that answers some of your issues. আমি সবাইকে ইনভাইট করতে চাই, what do you think? আপনারা কে কি মনে করেন? And who wants to share with your ideas? If anybody wants to jump into, most welcome. Harun Rashid said, thanks, you're most welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Harun. I just want to add one more thing to what Kamrul Bhai said. It's so important to understand that root thought process, the pain points, and try to make sense of what's happening from a more spiritual point of view. Because if you think of something which from a materialistic point of view, you will find all the negativity. But if you keep going up, all the benefits of what's happening from a spiritual point. And then in NLP, we have something called changing the words, transformation vocabulary. So instead of being concerned about what's happening, be curious. So convert your concern to curiosity. And curiosity is to try to be curious about what is the spiritual side of it. What is the inner message? Like Kamrul Bhai said, if you're having some pain or sleepless or anything, what is the message your body is trying to give you? So be curious and try to understand it rather than trying to be concerned and anxious about the thing. And that will definitely help serve you well, I suppose. But again, I think Kamrul Bhai said some very important thing at the beginning. The answer depends on your situation. That's why he, from his coaching mode, came and asked, okay, before I give an answer, tell me what is your real situation. So that's a very important thing. And I know some of you are HR managers here. Whenever someone asks questions without jumping into the answer, and I think I made that mistake as well today, we need to ask you, what is your concern? What is your reality? And ask others, when your colleagues, your team members come and ask you, ask, okay, first, before I answer you, tell me more. So I think that's a very important thing which Kamrul Bhai displayed a little bit earlier.
So thank you, Ranjan. There is one more question. I'm wondering if anyone wants to share with this. Whoever wants to come and join with us, sharing with this thought. আমাদের সাথে কে শেয়ার করতে চান? Please feel free.
Hi. So it's a very interesting topic to discuss because if you are not failing, you can't be succeed. So failure is the pillar of success. And basically, whenever you are stepping your first step, then you can realize maybe you might do some mistakes. But after some time, after trying, after your experience, you can definitely succeed. And it always helps us to understand, help us to learn from our past experiences. So if there is any kind of failure, we can find out the root causes of this failure and finally rectify those failures, and finally we can find out the best solution to succeed. Thank you.
Absolutely. So wonderful way of, I appreciate it. This is what the reflective thoughts. We need to reflect our thoughts because উনি যেটা বলছিলেন, আসলে these are the reflection of thoughts. আমাদেরকে যেটা disturb করে back of our mind. কারণ on an average day 60 to 70,000 thought কিন্তু আসে। 60 থেকে 70,000 thought every day produces by our brain's neuron cell. In our brain, there are billions of neurons, billions of cells, and it produces 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day. Actually, we cannot fight the thoughts. আমাদের যেটা mistake অনেক সময় করি, we want to fight with the thought. We want to stop the thought forcefully, but actually, we cannot stop because we don't have the power of stopping. এবং তখনই কিন্তু disturbance তৈরি হয়, then we lose the productivity. So, just adding, we got another question, Ranjan. Most of the time, I blame myself.
Can I make one point for the question? I think Mr. Rashid gave a very good answer. Again, I'm tempted to give a little NLP tool to work on it. So again, I talked about changing the words. So instead of saying, I made a mistake, the change of word should be, I had a learning. So what is the learning I had? So the transformation vocabulary technique in NLP is transforming every negative word into a positive word. So instead of saying I made a mistake, I had a learning. So what did I learn from this? or I was a failure. No, I had an experience. I'm still searching. No, I'm looking for the answer. It's all there. So all the time, keep changing the word and allow the brain to come with better, more positive answers. Of course, jokingly, we say that, if you keep saying, I had a learning, someone once in one of my in-room sessions said, by that definition, I must be the most learned person in this room, given all the mistakes I've been making. But still remember, just think about it. How many of you tried to learn to ride a bicycle? Did you first time get on the bicycle and go? No, you fell down. And you then got up, you fell down, you got up. And it's okay, it's the way of life. Little child learns the same way. And if you just take it positively, this is the way I grow. I suppose you said it bothers me, demotivates you. Your demotivation will not be there. Say that everyone fails. If you look at it, chances are the next time you will not fail. You'll take the learning and do it better. So that's a little thing to add to the answer which already came. Yeah.
Thank you, Ranjan. So another question from Saif bin Mahmoud, rather. He said, most of the time I blame myself for any kind of mistakes. It makes me demotivated. Can I ask you back again to Saif bin Mahmoud? So do you do same kind of mistake and then you blame yourself? Or anytime you do mistake and then you blame? I want to hear from you. If it is repetitive mistake, then it's okay, to feel bad. But if it is not repetitive mistake, then here it is my answer. My response rather. My response is mistakes. First of all, mistakes is the fundamental to learn, not to do the same thing further. Mistakes is an experience. So why it happens to you is, what I sense is you are a man of perfection. You want to do it perfectly, and thus it creates a concern and raises the awareness and raises the bar. I mean, the level of your awareness bar so high, and you are so cautious, tightly holding this, and you're not allowing yourself. You see, when you tightly hold the thing, something very tight, and you don't allow yourself, no, I don't want to do mistake, and I don't want to do anything as well if I am not sure I can do it 100%. If it is something, tell me yes. If it is not, then I will talk in different way. But first, let me address that if it is something that I want to do it perfectly, I don't want to do a mistake because I have done mistake. So then it creates a fear inside you. And this fear is again the dangerous for you because it creates another toxic, it secretes another, another neuron functions, and then it creates you more nervousness. And this is the nervousness you're talking about, the demotivation, because you are very cautious. You are not allowing yourself. Your nerve gets very tired. Your nerves shrinks because you're pressuring yourself. No, you can't do any mistake. No, you should not do any mistake. Let's not do any mistake. So the more you are very reluctant or you are very cautious, you are very, safeguarding your willpower, the more you would feel demotivated because you're pulling your nerve always in a break situation. No, you can't do mistake. No, you don't do it. Rather, maybe you're looking forward some perfection. So there is no perfection until you begin, and beginning is the mistake. But my second question was, do you do the same kind of mistake and then demotivated? If it is that, that's okay. Then you should allow a little bit yourself to learn and reflect the previous mistake. So I want to hear more from you, but roughly, briefly, my answer is, that's what I have explained. Ranjan, if you want to add anything with that.
I would like to have a conversation. I think you answered that quite perfectly well. And I think my earlier point also explains changing it. But if I can talk to Mr. Shakawat, you asked a question, how to motivate yourself in this situation. So Mr. Shakawat, can you switch on your camera and mic so that I can have a chat with you on this? Can we have a quick conversation?
Right. I also asked him a couple of questions because it depends.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. Mr. Shakawat,
Yes, sir. I am hearing. I am
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay, right. So let's talk about it. Now you say how to motivate yourself in this situation. So can you explain briefly what is the situation? How do you know that you are demotivated? What are the bodily signals, and what do you think the reason for that is?
Actually, sir, I am a student. When I am study, my mind is negative thought bring to demotivate a study,
Uh-huh.
and subconscious mind always remember me
Uh-huh.
that is not perfect for me. That
Hmm.
is boring. That is disliking me.
Uh-huh.
Subconscious mind is always demotivated to in study.
Yeah. So what you're saying is when you're studying uh, inside from within you, you call it the subconscious mind, various messages are coming saying that you're not good enough. And is that the case? Can I hear from you? So you're getting a,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're not good enough and you're thinking about the past failures, is it? Or what are you thinking? Or are you thinking about the future? Uh, what's going to happen or what happened in the past? Where are you when you think about the negative thoughts?
Future, because my examination is coming door. I
Mhm,
am not prepared to examination, and
mhm.
education is boring for me. I
Okay.
cannot deserve it, and many thinkings are coming into mind. I concentrate not in study.
Hmm.
Okay. So you're feeling that you're not good enough to get through the exam or to get good marks, and that is bothering you. Okay. So I think that's what it is.
So
So
that
let's,
means
yeah.
good enough means you are trying to be perfect, right? Or you're trying to be,
Yeah, yeah,
you have a higher expectation level, and you are not matching with the expectation, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, got your point, Ranjan.
Mhm. Okay. So can you tell me what are the things that you're good at currently, and maybe in the past? What are the things you did well already? It could be a type of subject, it could be some sport, it could be being in some society, some social work. Can you tell me two, three things that you were really good at, Shakot?
Sir, please tell me again.
Yeah, I'm asking you, can you tell me a few things that you were good at in the past or currently? Maybe you were good in some sport, maybe certain subjects you were good, maybe you were good as a student, society, organizer, anything. Can you tell me where are you good at?
Uh, uh, good at some things like as I nowadays I seeking a job. I i uh, i prepared preparing but not preparing.
Mhm. Sorry, it's breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah, anyway.
just I want to add with you, Ranjan.
Mm.
Maybe you need to find out your core strength. Core strength. Where is your strength? Basic strength.
Okay.
So anyway, Ranjan. So
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
we have tried
So
to
anyway, I
address
think we have
those.
got there. So anyway, point I'm trying to make now is, Shakavat, focus on what you're good at. Just do a list of it. And again, this is for everyone who's listening. Write down all the things you're good at. Put it up near your bed. Keep looking at it. Remind yourself you have some strengths and keep working on it. Now, when you're studying, if those thoughts come up, look at that list. Other thing which we teach again in NLP is that if you keep doing the same thing for more than 30 minutes, your brain gets tired and you get bored and you go away. So therefore, break your studies into 30-minute slots. Do 30 minutes one subject and then maybe take a walk, come back, next subject, listen to some music for 5 minutes, next subjects, keep going back. And also there are things that you interest you, do that for 5 minutes like a reward, come back. If you can come back to a different subject, if you keep doing that, you will be focused. You'll find more and more interest of doing it. And also when you are studying, use your talent to study. So for example, if you are a music writer, convert the subject material into a song and then remember the song. It's easy to do that. Or if you are an artist, convert the material, just draw something related to that subject. So do things which you are naturally good at so that it just becomes interesting. The boring goes off. And then you realize I'm good at it. And when you go to the exam, you'll remember all that as well. So that's a simple technique which has worked for me. I'm just sharing. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you, Ranjan. I want to add with, because everyone has the same concern under stress. The next question from Adiba Azad, how can we remain our decision to do some work under stress? So since majority of the question is actually coming out of the stress handling. So I want to bring a simple process for everyone of your concern who is actually having and going through this stress. And that is a simple technique, that is using the breath, using the breathing. Why? The root cause of this technique is actually our brain got stressed when the brain is actually lack of oxygen. It starts to get suffer because shortage of oxygen. This is one. When you get stressed, then naturally you won't feel relaxed. Number one, when you don't feel relaxed, you won't be able to perform better. And that's what causes more stress and anxiety. So the simple technique is have a deep breath. And after naturally, we are taking breath like normal flow, right? In a 1 to 10 scale, our natural breathing is 1 to 3, like this, the simple way. But what I'm taking is taking breathe like this. 1 to 10 scale like this. Thank you. So the breathing time is need to increase like 1 to 7. That means deep breathing. This is number one. Number two is, I call it box breathing. You take a breath and hold your breath, and then release your breath, and then again hold it, and then again take the breath, and then again release the breath, and then again hold it. So in that way, you're creating a box. So in that way, you're holding the oxygen inside your tummy, and also your brain also getting the oxygen supply, and that actually rejuvenates our entire nervous system. So some of you who are actually having this stress, you can practice this. This is very helpful. But don't do about, you need to do it, sitting in a sitting position. Don't do it in a standing position. And after doing this exercise, don't also try to walk. After doing this breathing exercise, you need to come back, settle down. Your body fluids need to settle, and then you can walk. Hope it helps.
Kamrupa, can we, for the audience benefit, can you guide us all through that exercise? We'll all do it together. I think it's a very powerful exercise. Do it for us, and I'm sure others can also benefit.
Okay, so this exercise is like this. Let's do it, everybody together. Can you hear us? If you hear me, just say yes.
Yes.
Then I will start. Okay.
Yes,
thank you.
Listening.
Okay, thank you. So the exercise is like this. All of us will do it together. The box breathing technique. I'm now taking a breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then holding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm holding this, and then I'm releasing. After I release, again I'm holding it. I'm not taking the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then again I'm taking breath. And then again I'm holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then again I'm taking breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then again I'm releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is, in that way, if you do it 5, 6, 7, 8 times, you will be, your body will get oxygen. And to take you through another simple exercise for all of us. This is flashing. So flashing is like this. So can you hear me? Another second exercise is flashing. Flashing is like this. Let's do all of us together. So what will happen if you have any obstacle inside your nasal cord, inside your brain, and towards the fush. So when you flash it, this is flashing. So your obstacles would be cleared. And let's flash it together. So when you do it 30 seconds, just flash. After flashing, little bit you'd feel tired because you are actually posing some strength, pushing the nasal cord, and also this vocal cord. It goes inside and out, and this push goes to brain. Your brain towards the nose to brain, it gets the line clearer. So a lot of time it happens, our inside, there might be some stuck. So if you do this practice, after this, you'd feel certain relaxation. Hope it helps. Do you feel it?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very helpful.
So I want to have others' response. What do you feel now? Who wants to say? Do you feel more energy? Do you feel more power? Do you feel more fresh?
It's good practice. It's good.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, Ranjan, if you want to add something
So
with this.
can I have a quick conversation with Adiba about your stressful situation? Again, I'm doing a little coaching for you, for everyone else to get something here. So can you switch on your mic if you don't mind? Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yeah.
Walaikum salam.
I'm a student of KCC Women's College.
Yeah.
I'm a second year student in Food and Nutrition Department.
Mhm.
Now I think I'm feeling better. Actually, my problem is I got very hyper in every situation.
Okay.
Because of that, I don't.
Can you explain one situation that you get hyper?
That can be anything.
Yeah, so I think for us to give you a specific input, we like to hear the specific issue that you're facing. And again, I'm doing this so that everyone else can learn from your situation. Can you tell one situation which is not too personal? You can share with all of us something which you feel hyper. Then I'll try to explain an NLP tool, how to, in addition, what Kamrul Bhai did is fantastic. You do that first, get yourself relaxed. Now you do a little reflection tool. I want to teach you that. So can you give one small example?
That can be actually that moment whenever I think that I'll do in the most important thing, just like a study or else uh, before my exam.
Okay.
One subject that can be I have to finish before the exam, but
Okay.
I think that has been very more for me.
Yeah. Okay. So,
That
what you're saying is when you think about one particular subject that you have to completely remember and do it perfectly before the exam, that's putting you a lot of pressure. Is that correct?
yes.
Yes.
Is it correct?
So first thing again in NLP, we change the word. Stress needs to be changed to pressure, because stress is actually negative interpretation of pressure. If you look at your pressure in a negative way, say, oh my God, why me? I have only so many days for the exam. I'm not prepared. If you look at the situation in a negative way, it causes stress. But if you say this pressure is good for me, this pressure is helping me to focus and do better. So the definition of stress, if you want, others can write it down. Simple one-line definition is.
আমি যেটা বলছি ওটা শুনেন আমি
Can
বিচারি
you
মাত্র ফোন
mute
দিছিলাম
your mic, please, Mr. Arif? Yeah. So I'll say that again. So when you are in a stressful situation, the definition of stress is the negative interpretation of pressure. Stress is the negative interpretation of pressure. Right? So If you look at it negatively, it will cause you a lot of stress. But look at it positively. If you think of people who achieve something in this world, do you agree that someone like Mahatma Gandhi had a lot of pressure? Can you switch on your mic, Abida?
Yes,
Okay, but
I
he
can
wasn't
hear.
stressed, yeah. Do you think of the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina has a lot of pressure? Yes,
I
so
think
much to deal with, but she's not stressed. If she's stressed, she can't do her job. Do you think the cricket captain of Bangladesh has a lot of pressure? Yes, everyone wants him to win.
yes,
But if he converts that to stress, he can't win the cricket. So therefore, the reason they went to that high level is they realize that pressure is good for you. When you have pressure, that helps you to grow. So next time you feel the pressure, say, yes, thank you, pressure. You're helping you to grow. Take it, accept it, be positive. Do not disapprove of yourself for having that pressure. Say that this pressure is good. And again, go back to that other technique I talked about. Do that particular subject for a little while, maybe 30 minutes, and go to your most interesting subject. 30 minutes. Then come back
yes.
to this subject again, the pressured subject. I'm not using the word stress. Again, go to the interesting subject. Every 30 minutes, keep switching, because the
Just
interesting
for
mind is,
relaxation.
yeah, so do the interesting subject that relaxes, or do some music or something, 5 minutes. Again, go to that boring subject which is giving you pressure. As you keep doing that, that also will become easy. And also tell yourself, fine, if I don't get 100 marks, 95, that's fine. I'm going to do perfect in other things. This might, I'll just pass, that's okay. Approve yourself, because no one is perfect. If you take the Bill Gates of this world, all these people, I mean, they flunked university, they couldn't get into college. I mean, sometimes, yes, you need to study, but what I'm saying is, do not make that the most important thing. Study well, but you also have to, like what you're doing in these sessions, develop your personal skills, your leadership skills. That will be the best for you finally. Studies are important. Study is only a passport to get into the next level. After you get in, it's your personal qualities which is important. So I hope that was useful. Is that useful from? Yes.
Yes, I can understand, and I'll have to, um, I'll have to do this because
Yeah,
I'm
and
very stressed in every situation. So
yeah,
that I don't do anything perfectly.
yeah. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you will find some meditation, stress relieving, anxiety releasing meditation of 17, 18 minutes. Just put it that, listen to it, relax yourself, then start studying. Plus do what Kamrul Bhai said, that breathing exercises, the box breathing, so powerful. So all these little techniques are available. Yeah. So thank
Okay,
you for your question. Yeah.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Adiba and Ranjan as well. I want to welcome Mr. Abdul Hakim, who just joined us lately. Hakim Bhai, so if you can hear us, just come forward and say hello and say something. No,
Hello.
for
Hello,
us.
sir.
Yes.
Assalamu
Hello.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I'm sorry that actually I made late. I'm
No
feeling
issues.
that I got the connection.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hakim Bhai, any thought, anything, anything that you want to share, or any issues that you're going through, if you can help, right?
Actually, I was listening Ranjan De Silva. He was saying rightly the stress what we are having every day, and considering the COVID situation, those who are in the government's area, textile area, they are most feeling most stress, and they are really in a trouble situation. So the speech he was delivering to another other body, that was really impressing me. We should welcome the stress. That means it is giving us to work out of the box, and that's why I am saying. And he was saying that personal qualities are useful, and the qualifications are only the gatepass to get in, and the outcome will be as per our qualities. And it's really nicely saying. And the way to reduce the stress what you are showing, that was really good, and I practiced with you, and that is really great. So when I heard about Mr. Ranjan De Silva, he visited us for training UNIFIL group, and I am now with the UNIFIL group. as a marketing team leader. So I do believe we'll meet again. And Kamrul Bhai, and I believe you both will come again and we'll have nice sessions again and again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Hakim Bhai. Thank you for joining. Yep.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Mr. Hakim. And I'm in touch with Mr. Saif. So give my regards to him. We are talking every other day about the situation.
Yes, actually he is responsible for governmenting and I am solely responsible for fabrication part. And we have fabrication unit also, which is a 6.5 million meter per month, big capacity. So thank you so much. We'll meet again, inshallah.
And Hakim Bhai now regularly joining with us in the last 3 days, with our program. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much. So for all of your concern, we are actually streaming this live to our YouTube channel rather, CKH Network. So if you haven't subscribed it yet, please do subscribe it. CKH Network YouTube channel is going live there. So welcoming any other thoughts and questions, comments, and issues. We are almost an hour we have passed together. So what is the next?
I will request Ranjan De Silva, please do say something about artificial intelligence versus emotional intelligence, how we can collaborate it within our teammates.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Heavy question. I need to apologize. I'm not an expert in artificial intelligence to say much, but from the little I know about artificial intelligence, that is an intelligence which is created by human beings. At the end of it, it could be computers and robots and big data. All that is artificial intelligence. But remember, that is all created by people. At the end of it, what you create, how you use it, depends on people. And that's where the emotional intelligence comes. It comes from the people. It is using your heart in addition to your head. So artificial intelligence is created with your head, with your brain, and emotional is from the heart. But for you to be successful, you need to have a good balance between the two. Even though you have artificial intelligence, remember at the end of it, we are dealing with people to understand their emotions, their heart, their feelings. Our decisions have to ensure their feelings are looked into. So therefore, both are important, and maintain a balance. Learn both. That's all I can say. But I'm not too much of an expert on artificial intelligence to go anymore. But I hope that was useful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Any other questions, anyone?
Sorry. If any other questions or any other issues that we can address.
May I join?
Please, yes, of course, yes. Most welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please join us.
Thanks for, actually, I missed your introduction. That's why I'm a little bit confused. Now I would like to thanks Mr. Ranjan and Mr. Kamrul for this session. It is actually a learning session. I would like to say one question regarding stress. Actually, we sometimes face top management, repeated top management decision, which might execute us without mass pupils actually without against our opinion actually. Sometimes top management push us to do something frequently, though it goes wrong several times. This happens in the corporate world. How can we actually deal with this situation?
Okay, Kamrul Bhai, you want me to take that?
Yeah, please take it.
Yeah, is it possible to give you don't have to give any details of your organization or anything. Can you give a simple example of a decision?
Yeah,
so that
just,
it will help me
just
to.
I'm saying, just I told I'm working in a RMG sector, and sometimes top management asks to retrenchment, layoff, which we discussed. This is not actually right time to do things. our opinion neglected, and they do the things, and it fire back sometimes. So this is one example.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is, in this example, top management say wants to do some layoffs, but
Yeah.
you feel this is not the right time.
Right. Yeah.
So, but without your opinion, they anyway go ahead and
Yeah.
do the layoff, and
Yeah.
that is affecting you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think to answer that, there are multiple layers to this. First of all, you need to try and understand why the top management made the decision. Maybe they didn't ask you, but at least try to understand the reason why, so that you can explain to your team members who are getting laid off. So understanding why. Say that, sir, I want to know the reason behind your thinking so that I can explain, not to challenge. If you say, sir, your decision is wrong, you shouldn't have done it, then there'll be more retaliation. That will become even a bigger problem. So first is understand. When you listen and understand, they might also say, why did you ask? Have you got opinion? So you actually, through your behaviors, encourage them to behave in a more positive way towards you. So that is the first thing. Second thing is learn communication skills to understand the concerns. That's where the emotional intelligence, which the earlier question comes in. Understand the emotions of the people who are laid out. Those people, really listen to their concerns, talk to them, and say that, okay, I do understand what you're going through. This is the reason we have to do it. But whenever we go back, a company starts growing again, I will have your list. You will be called. I'm going to call you personally when we are recruiting again. So help us out, because this is the decision. And meanwhile, I will try to talk to my bosses and see what can be done. In addition, as a good leader, give some personal guidance to the people who are getting laid out, how to manage their life, maybe point out to other jobs which are available, something, so that you're not just letting them go, but helping them to manage that period and say that you're worthwhile. Remember, they are anxious, they are worried because of it. The best thing you can do is to, as a good leader, keep them, their mind under control, give them some hope. I'll recruit you. These are the options. Cut down cost in these areas. Do some work like this. Help them in any way possible. And also see whether there are social organizations who are giving food or money. Can you arrange something for them? And meanwhile, also engage your bosses and say, boss, I've done this for my team. What can you do? Try to get their help as well. I think that's the best you can do. But whilst doing it, do it with passion, with emotion, with the purpose of helping people.
Sure.
I hope that's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, all right, thank you. So I think we got so many questions, concerns. I think so far it's a, I think we have tried to address the key issues. I need cell number. Okay, I'll share with you. Sure. Any other questions, comments? So what we are going to tell you now is actually we are almost in the towards the end of the program, and in this moment actually we want to introduce a brief session that we have discussed dealing with the present and gearing up for the future. It's basically a 11-week session. So Ranjan, just in the next 10 minutes, can you please just roughly go through the lessons that we have designed for 10 weeks program? So that will help probably everybody to get to know the structure of the program and what is our offer. We'll talk it briefly.
Yeah, so what we thought is that whilst we are all going through various free learning sessions, sometimes when you invest some time and money and really go into an organized session which has a certificate attached to it at the end, you would definitely have more learning and application. So what we are planning is a 11-week session. Each session will be 1.5 to 2 hour duration. Between that, both done by Kamrul Bhai and me. Kamrul Bhai and me will do the first session and the last one. Then after that, in between, he will do one, I will do one. So we'll keep switching in our focus areas. So we are going to cover broad areas like NLP. It's about purposefulness. We're going to talk about Silva method, transcendental meditation, all kinds of life tools. It's like a fusion of life tools you will get to deal with the different areas of your life. At the end of the process, you will have a clear purpose for life, a clear strategy, and you have a toolkit to run your life in a productive way. And in that process, you would have also grown, because we are going to have in between the sessions some mentoring for you, coaching, there'll be community learning, and we have designed a beautiful program. And as soon as we get a minimum number, we will start it off. And hopefully it will be on Fridays, similar time, so that you can come in once a week and learn with us. So of course, details are in the website. You go to the CK Network website, all the entire curriculum is there. So I don't want to bore you with the details, but this is what we have planned for you.
Right. On our CK's network page, you will get the website link and the program link as well. So we want to welcome you to look into this program. This is 11-week program, because today we just wanted to give you a brief, kind of, at a glance, some of the tools that can help you. But it's definitely, as you can imagine, this is today only 1 hour. So if it is like another 11 sessions more like this and consecutive every week, probably you're going to deal with all of your crises, all of your issues. And by the end of 11 week, you're going to see yourself refreshed, much more energized, and much more, you're having much more clarity as well, where you are heading. And of course, after the 11 week, I think things we will also overcome what you are seeing today. So overall, so this is the course we thought to design it together and bring this for everyone's attention, so that we can benefit out of a community learning. So this is more of a community learning approach, where we are creating a community, and this community could be strong. Why? Because each of us, we can help each other to grow. And this is not only I am talking or Ranjan talking. We want to invite you, encourage you, whatever you also know, we can bring those things as well for each and everyone's concern, and thus we can make it a powerful community. So a community learning approach. Yep. So that's the adult learning. Is very much communicated and connected with the community learning approach. We want to consider this, and we actually thought very well how much the price should be. I'm talking for the professionals. Then we came up, okay, we got to do it in a way so that it is much more reasonable than that of any other time, since all of we are dealing with the crisis. So we gave a 50% off on the price that normally we would charge. Like in 11 week, it could be 11,000 taka, 11 sessions. And then we came up only 5,000 taka for 11 sessions. So that's what we can do our best to create the community, and rest is your choice. You're free to choose anything. So that's a bit marketing, and that's a bit our offering as well, because we want to add value. And if there is no transaction attached with it, then it also happens that we don't take it seriously as well. So that's why only the amount of value would add end of 11 week, compared to the value we're asking in terms of monetization. I think, and we believe that is much less, because it's only pretty much standard. If we go for a meal, even less than 2-3 meal or 5 meals, if you go to the even cafe. So we're just talking about this. And the second choice, because we wish we could give everything freely. Yes, we are giving a lot of things, free takeaway. That's our way of helping everybody. the industries, organizations, resources, students, and everything, every of a community member. And a lot of you know that we are doing every day session. We have free corporate programs, we have free student program, and we kept something also so that we can earn our livelihood as well, because certainly we cannot do other things, because that's what our specialization is. So that's what it is for your consideration. For the organizations, those who are here with us, if any question, comments, and then we can close it. Thank you so much for your time. We want to hear your questions and comments, your thoughts.
And also, I have seen a comment saying that's a great offer by Arif Abdullah. So I hope, Ms. Arif, that you will join the program, and anyone else. And if you today, if you got some value, and the style of the program is what we did today. We will take your real issues, we will give you specific tools so that you can really work on it. And I'm sure when I help one person one-on-one, others also learn from that, because that's similar to their issue. And we will have a lot of stories, we'll have some music, we'll have some poems, and I would like to perhaps finish off my section with a poem, but let's see whether there is any questions or comments from anyone, and then I'll pass on to Kamrul Bhai after my poem. Yeah, so we have got some phone numbers from you.
Can we have one or two comments from the corporate executives? I think there are few of you have joined with us. So what's your takeaway today? Just briefly.
Yeah, Mr. Abdul Hakim, you can say something.
Yes, I really enjoyed the session, whatever time I got, and it was encouraging actually. In a workforce and everyday life, we are getting so many anxiety, and we are getting so many nervousness, and how to make our life easy, and how to lead ourselves with cool and calm way. And this mentorship is really good, what you and Mr. Ranjan De Silva are doing. And we supposed to know some other techniques, and I do believe if we tag ourselves with you, you will show us some methods, some techniques which we can apply within our day-to-day life, and so that we can create our workforce and myself as a collaborative team, and to achieve the targeted goal. I believe it will help us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to share briefly?
And anyone, any students can share.
Yeah, a student as well, anybody.
Yeah.
Anyone, please feel free to come forward. And this is your session, come forward and speak. Practice a bit.
Yeah.
No need to be perfect, it's okay.
Yes, Kamrul Bhai,
yes.
Did you hear me? This is Yashwant.
Yes. Yes,
so,
please.
Yeah, thanks to you, first of all, to give us the opportunity. Actually, in this crisis moment, we really need some such kinds of sessions to reduce our stress, as we are working in the RNG sector, and as you know how stressful time we are passing last 1.5 months, and we don't know how it will continue next 2-3 months. So I think these sessions definitely us to go, to find ourselves, to reduce our stress, and to act, to find out the policies and techniques to act and in the future, how we can gear up ourselves and can minimize these pandemic situations. We can break out ourselves from that situations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Perfect. So anyone else, any students, anyone wants to come and say a few words? আমাদের যারা স্টুডেন্ট আছে, যারা শুনছে, আমি যে কোনো একজনকে ইনভাইট করতে চাই, just to say a few words, as we are going through a lot of learning initiatives from CKC network. So say a few words. Who wants to come forward? কে আসতে চাই? Who is the brave one? Come on, this is your time, because a lot of corporate also watching. Your head of HR, from several organizations, they're watching. So this is your time to say and demonstrate your skill. You might get a job, right? Who knows? Take it as a chance, an opportunity.
Well
Express
said.
to impress.
Well said.
express to impress.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি সাইফ
ওয়ালাইকুম
বিন
আসসালাম।
মাহমুদ, গ্রিন ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ বাংলাদেশ থেকে বিবিএ করছি। স্যার আমি কি বাংলায় বলবো না ইংলিশে বলবো?
বাংলা, absolutely no issues.
আচ্ছা স্যার, সিকেচ নেটওয়ার্ক সম্পর্কে বলতে গেলে আসলে একটা এক্সাম্পল দিই, হচ্ছে লাইক একটা কফি যেটা হচ্ছে তৈরি করা আপনার এই মুহূর্তে দরকার, খুব স্ট্রেচে আছেন কিন্তু তৈরি করে খেতে ইচ্ছে করতেছে না, কেউ যদি তৈরি করে খাওয়াই দেয় তাহলে বিষয়টা ভালো লাগবে। আর আমাদের হচ্ছে সিকেচ নেটওয়ার্ক কাইন্ড অফ এরকম যে স্টুডেন্টদেরকে তৈরি করে দিচ্ছে, যে আপনার একটা অর্গানাইজেশনের জন্য মেকআপ করে দিচ্ছে, যে জাস্ট একটা কফি অর্গানাইজেশনকে দিল, এরপর মানে আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে দিল, এরপর ওরা ইউজ করতে পারলো, ইউটিলাইজ করতে পারলো উইথাউট এনি কাইন্ড অফ ট্রেনিং। আই থিঙ্ক যেটা দরকার, একটা বেসিক যে নলেজটা দরকার।
Thank you. Much appreciated.
So Kamul bhai, just one
you.
thing would like to share. So I was listening about the Wadani Foundation and your CKS network employability skills training. I must appreciate your effort and also Wadani Foundation and Mr. Istanul Kobir. And you guys are really doing a very good job, because especially nowadays there is lot of people, but whenever we are sitting for an interview, and sometimes it's very difficult to find the competent people on the interview session. So you people are doing a very good job. I must appreciate your efforts, and thank you so much, Kamul bhai and Mr. De Silva, for your effort and help us to learn more from this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much everyone for joining. Before we close, of course Ranjan would go through a poem which is very good at, and I must appreciate everyone's time, effort and engagement, and we're looking forward. So we are available at CKH Network in our web page, Facebook page, and also the YouTube channel, website, everywhere CKH Network. And every night we're trying to bring the resources that we think that could be beneficial for every one of us that we're going through into this crisis time. And that's our effort to make our life every day a bit better. And with this, I want to invite Ranjan to go to have the poem for us.
Yeah, so this is to again display some of the things we are doing in the session. This poem is one of my favorite ones. I'm sure most of you have watched the Star Wars movie. And so when Star Wars first came, they had this little robo called R2D2. And R2D2 became so popular, they put replicas of it in schools and had this poem inside the robo. So during interval, children would go and wind up that robo who would recite the poem. Now I have a standard version, but I have added 2 more lines to suit the current situation. So the poem goes this way. R2D2, are you me too? If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. You can turn that C into an A. You can make the college play. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. You can compete with McEnroe or Austin. You can even win the marathon in Boston. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. You can profit from inflation. Even you can redirect this nation. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. You can turn this pandemic into paradise. You can turn those lockdowns into real love. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. But if you think you can't, you can't. If you think you lose, you're lost. If you think you dare not, you don't. Because out in the world, success begins in a person's will. It's all in a state of mind. You got to think high to rise before you'll ever win the prize. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. It doesn't matter if you have won before. It doesn't matter the halftime score. It's not done till the final gun, but is there one? So you can be a winner even if you're just a beginner. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. You know, it's not your pocketbook that determines your worth. It's not the color of skin at birth. Sooner or later, the person who wins is the person who thinks he can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. So go away, think positive, you can.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Thank you. I think let's say everybody together. Yes, we
Yes.
can. Yes,
Yes,
we
Yes,
can.
we can.
Yes.
Yes, we
Thank
can.
you. That's what we believe. This is an amazing to have you together with us. And yes, you can. And till we can, let's stay together and build our fortune and build our purposeful life together. And yes, we can. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay well and take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.